Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark is sitting in the Catbird seat, and he knows it. Welcome to College Football's Peek Around the Corner with your host, Greg Pflugar. Justin Williams from The Athletic, who's the reporter for the Cincinnati Bearcats, follows the Cincinnati Bearcats, had a question and answer period with Brett Yormark. He tweeted a couple of those answers out that Brett Yormark had for his questions. We're going to talk about it tonight here at episode 37. Episode 36 that we released earlier this morning, we talked about how the conditions that the college football playoffs, the new expanded playoffs, is an incentive for Big 12 and the Big 10 to eliminate the Pac-12. If they could do it, we think they will. Eliminate the Pac-12 because, go back and watch the episode, because the money that would increase for the Big 12 and the Big 10 would be well worth it. It would pay for the expansion itself. Go back and watch episode 36 of earlier today. This episode 37, this emergency episode, discusses what Brett Yormark said in public to Justin Williams. Let's get at it right now. Here we go. Brett Yormark, an opening early negotiation window to extend Big 12's TV contract with ESPN and Fox. This is Yormark speaking. That process has started. I met with ESPN last week. Had great meetings with them. I think we're very aligned and like-minded in where we want to go in the future. I'll be meeting with Fox in the next week to gauge their interests. Obviously, these are conversations to explore if it's in everyone's best interest to go early. I want you to remember that. We're going to circle back to that. To gain clarity, my gut tells me that both Fox and ESPN would like to do that, but I'll know for sure once I meet with Fox in the next week. Advantage Big 12. We know that the Pac-12 is talking with ESPN and have been in discussion with ESPN in regards to Tier 1, Tier 2 media rights. Fox, at this point in time, it's been reported, has no interest in Pac-12 content, right? Fox just helped Big 10 poach UCLA and USC, and we believe more poaching is very well could be on the way. So that's an advantage for Brett Yormark over the Pac-12. He's got one current media partner, ESPN, which spoke to him this week, and he's got Fox speaking to him next week. Look what Brett Yormark says. Obviously, these are the conversations to explore if it's in everyone's best interest to go early. To me, that means new media contract, to go early, to get this done. Could even replace the old contract 1 or 2 years early because the current media contract ends, the Big 12 current media contract with Fox and ESPN ends June 30th, 2025. To go early means let's get this done now, and we can even replace the old contract with the new contract early if it's possible. Another chip that Brett Yormark has over the Pac-12, Brett Yormark has Oklahoma and Texas wanting to leave early to go to the SEC. Brett Yormark, the Big 12, they own the grant of rights. They could, in theory, get the other Big 12 universities to agree to let Texas and Oklahoma go, maybe a year early in 2024. And in return, what does Brett Yormark get from ESPN? Ooh, a whole heck of a lot. A whole heck of a lot, right? Probably enough money payout to do an expansion out west that Brett Yormark gets into in a second. Big 12 has advantages over the Pac-12. One, they have both their current media partners interested in them. And two, Brett Yormark has a big bargaining chip with the possible early exit of Oklahoma and Texas to the Big 12, which he could possibly get done. Okay? Let's get to the next part of what Brett Yormark says. This is even more interesting. Big 12 Commish Brett Yormark on potential future conference expansion and what schools would be additive to the Big 12. This is Yormark speaking. Well, I don't want to get into specifics. I appreciate the question, but obviously going out west is where I would like to go, entering that fourth time zone. We're going to get back to that fourth time zone. I got a lot to say about that. A program that has national recognition, one that competes at the highest level in basketball and football, stands for the right things, is a cultural fit, because our alignment right now and the like-mindedness of all of our member institutions is fantastic. It's never been better. So I don't want to compromise that. And it's critically important that there is the right cultural fit when you think about coming in and being part of what we're building here. Okay? The second part of that, I have some disagreements with Yormark, but he is selling his conference, right? He's branding and his marketing. He's selling his conference. He's talking about how the like-mindedness of all of our member institutions is fantastic. It's never been better. There isn't quite that like-mindedness in the Big 12. I would tell you this, though, because they're all really different institutions. But the one thing they have like-mindedness is the fan bases of all the Big 12 schools have a good, real, intensive football fan base. That's what really ties this Big 12 conference together. Unlike the Pac-12. Another advantage for Yormark. This episode is called Brett Yormark sitting in the Catbird seat for a reason. Lots of advantages over the Pac-12, and I believe those advantages are building up. Okay, here's a point that I want to get into. Yormark says, but obviously going out west is where I would like to go, entering that fourth time zone. Yormark is talking about Arizona, particularly University of Arizona, fourth time zone. Now, there are reasonable people, message boards, Twitters, boards, writers for 247, ESPN, Fox analysis. Okay, reasonable people can have a disagreement on where all this is heading. But you got to quit paying attention to the trolls. The trolls who hide behind, who don't give out their real name, right? They're playing semantics. They just want to instigate. The fourth time zone, Arizona, right now in Tucson, Arizona, has the same time on their clocks as San Diego, California. This question of what Yormark was talking about when he said fourth time zone, there is no question what he was talking about. He was talking about the state of Arizona. And, of course, he would like to go west, and they would love to include Colorado and Utah for obvious reasons. Colorado and Utah are cultural fits, even though they're different from each other. Colorado used to be a Big 12 school, and Utah is a cultural fit. A growing athletic programs at Utah. Yes, so all four of those schools, Arizona State, Arizona, Utah, and Colorado is what Yormark is. That's their targets, the four corner schools, but obviously the fourth time zone is in regards to Arizona, University of Arizona, highest level in basketball and football, okay? Or at least the basketball part for Arizona. All right, I just want to get through that part. Okay. So here's the deal. We talked about earlier today in episode 36 about how the forces, the forces, the economic forces for wanting consolidation, meeting the forces of deregulation of all college sports, they're heading on. We're causing this explosion. This is what's going on. More consolidation is on the way. This is what we believed. This is what we believed when we said that Texas and Oklahoma was going to call either SEC or the Big Ten into happen. This is what we believed. This is what we reported. This is what we heard when we all let you know in the spring that USC called the Big Ten. This is what we know. This is what we believe. This is what we've been told. And that the Big Ten still has targets out there of Washington and Oregon if they could ever make Stanford work, because they want Stanford to be a Big Ten school, and of course Notre Dame, which seems to be out of reach at this point. And Yormark is saying this out in the open, in public, sending a message that we would like to go out west. He's basically telling you who. And he feels comfortable enough in his conversations with ESPN last week, right? He feels comfortable enough saying this, knowing that he's going to have conversations next week with Fox, right? He feels comfortable enough in saying this out in the public, knowing that he's had conversations since day one when he became Big 12 commissioner, with the Big 12 presidents in saying this in public, right? Yeah. So I know, look, a lot of people are saying it's over. Realignment is over in the Power 5 until the next wave, whenever that will be. We don't think that's true. The conditions are still ripe. We do not know what the final decision makers, the decision that they're going to make. We do not know the final numbers that Big Ten can get from potential new media companies. That is it going to be large enough for them to take Oregon and Washington, for example, for the 17th and 18th school? We do know that this new conference football playoff expansion is ripe. It's another incentive for consolidation. A lot of people said when they saw that the 12-team school conference playoff format gets approved, a lot of people said all over the place, oh, realignment's over. We took it the other way at Peek Around the Corner. We said that's even more conditions for more realignment. We'll see what happens. If you like our content, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to our channel and please share the video. I know lots of you have been with us since day one. You've been with us even before we created this channel. We appreciate your support so much. We think we're on to a bigger story here. More realignment is potentially happening because people behind the scenes want it to happen. Big money wants it to happen. Okay? So, that's episode 37 for you. Yormark, he's in the Catbird seed. Big 12 has the definite advantage over the Pac-12. Okay? There's no more argument or discussion about that. So what will Yormark do? He's pressing the envelope. He's pressing it. He's going for it. He's even stating it out in the open. You remember what Kevin Warren said about Brett Yormark in the Big Ten media days? Remember what Kevin Warren said about Yormark? Go back and read what Kevin Warren said. He thinks Big 12 made a great hire. This is somebody that he can work with. On and on and on. Okay, gave you enough hints. Until next time, from all of us at Peek Around the Corner to all of you, please, you all take care of each other. Thank you so very much.